That's on another level.
It's on another level for a guy that doesn't put that much effort into his appearance. Boy, does he.
It's that whole I'm not trying, but I'm trying thing. He's probably got some oils and stuff behind the scenes that we're not seeing.
He definitely has oils.
Yeah.
He has, we're talking about Matt Hardy, by the way.
Yeah,
also.
Matt Hardy.
Fan of, I was going to say fan of the pod. Glorified co-host at this point. But
yeah.
his roommate, who is a part-time monk in West Africa.
Is that a thing you take time off of?
Yeah, well, apparently.
It's a part-time weekends.
Like he doesn't get to donate to his 401k, but
right, yeah,
he does get some benefits.
Part-time. Things are that tough, huh? They're cutting hours. They're cutting hours.
Yeah, he's got to hit the diamond mines.
Wow.
He provided him a powder for COVID.
A powder?
A powder. And
the roommate supplied Hardy a powder for COVID. What does it do?
Well, he never took it.
Well, that's probably good.
Well, then he thought he had COVID, but he never got tested. So
okay.
we don't know if it's COVID.
Right.
But we're saying it's
there was
COVID.
a lot of that. Yeah.
He yelled at it. He yelled at the virus in his body.
The roommate did.
No.
Oh, Hardy did. Hardy, yeah, okay.
He yelled. He said he yelled COVID out of his body.
I believe it. Yeah. I mean, if you yell long enough, eventually it'll leave anyway. So,
So it can't be wrong.
Yeah. You could do a lot of things for the whole time you have COVID and be like, that's what did it.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
If you do anything for long enough,
yeah.
it did something.
Yeah. Yeah. Cold showers. I mean, anything that you do. Yeah.
I also found out now, do you... Because I found out this about Hardy. Are you a nocturnal snacker?
Do I eat late at night? I don't know. Well, I tend to smoke weed before bed, and I think the weed is what does it, but I only smoke weed at night, so I think technically I fall under the umbrella, but I'm not like I would never get out of bed to do it. You know what I mean?
It's got to be brought to you.
Yeah. I'm also I'm big on the way home I'll grab something. I'm a big I need a reward even though I don't, you know. I like a reward for myself, and it's often just ice cream or just something fucking horrible. So here's what I've been doing lately. I've been trying to switch, and my girlfriend insists, still not healthy, and it's not, but it's better than ice cream is I'll just I'll get a big bowl and I'll just fill it with whipped cream, and then I'll put berries and fucking chocolate granola in there. I'll basically make a Ben and Jerry's light, and then I'll just eat that.
Okay, so you're just having cream.
Yeah.
You've eliminated the temperature.
Yeah.
And you've just made it cream.
It's still sugary cream, but because it says 2 tablespoons. Which how do you measure? How do you measure in whipped cream? You're not measuring it in tablespoons. So the whole thing's...
you're allowed to.
Yeah, it's given me, it's all a guesstimation, but it's my guesstimation. And if I'm allowed to make the statistics on the nutrition facts, it's healthier, ladies and gentlemen.
A can of whipped cream goes by tablespoons?
Yeah.
That's
stupid.
2
tablespoons is 15 calories, I think. That's what it's saying. So, I don't know. I got a bowl... Because if you eat the whole Ben & Jerry's pint, that's 1,400. So it's I know I'm not hitting that. As long as I'm not hitting that.
It could be $13.99.
It could be.
But I'm not hitting 14.
I'm not hitting 14, and there's not recognizable candy pieces in my dessert. There's not Reese's. I don't have Oreos in there. So it feels like I'm being better.
Okay, so right now what you're breaking down is you don't use ice cream.
Yeah.
You use regular cream.
Yeah.
And not name brand chocolates.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
You use generic brand chocolate.
Yeah.
This is real poor shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's they tell you, oh, don't, buy the store stuff. If you make your own cookies, it's somehow better for you. You know what I mean?
Who makes their own cookies?
I don't know.
You
These
have to
people
go to pastry school.
Yeah, I guess. Oh yeah. When I say make my own cookies, I mean you buy the Nestle squares, you break them apart, you throw them in the oven. Oh, they're fantastic.
Yeah, those are fun.
They're fantastic. Yeah, but I'm trying to wean off that stuff because it's fucking, it's not good.
No.
Yeah.
So you're going with kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Were you a name brand household, or were you a generic? Because with your dad, I can't tell.
Well, my dad, we didn't have a ton of we didn't keep a ton of food in the house, or he didn't, because I mean they split up when I was 4, and my dad, he couldn't keep food in the house because he's like me, he'd eat it all, so he would only eat at work. So
where he was a caterer.
Right. Well, yeah. So he's the chef. He has access to a whole kitchen. So that's where he just consumed all his calories. If he came home and then had food in the house,
You can't have that.
yeah, he would balloon up. It'd be bad.
Yeah, you can't mix a church and state. I see what he did.
Yeah. So there wasn't a ton of food in my dad's house. But when we were over there for the weekend, like as little kids, he would buy up everything. The little Debbie snacks were huge.
Okay.
We had like a drawer where we would buy a bunch of boxes of shit, and we would just empty all the boxes into one drawer. So it was just like a mix of cosmic brownies and oatmeal cream pies, and just it's a disaster.
Let me ask you, because this is a very contentious topic.
Okay.
Which I don't know if that's the right word or if I pronounced it correct.
I know what you meant.
Favorite Little Debbie snack cake?
Oh, I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've had them, so I don't know if I'm working off of like a memory. You know what I mean? Sometimes where you're like the memory I have of it is improving what I think the taste is.
Okay.
But
emotion goes into this.
I'm also like, I might be confused. I loved what were the peanut butter ones? Where like they were like 2 long sticks. You know, is that not Little Debbie's?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know if it's Little Debbie's, but that was your favorite?
I liked those. Also, zebra cakes.
That's
now we're getting.
That's the correct answer.
No, now we're.
I'll
warmer.
accept other things also, but zebra cakes was the answer.
Zebra cakes were nice. They had a nice, satisfying shell that you cracked into.
Yes.
People
don't appreciate the shell.
They don't appreciate the shell. Fuck the drizzle or the cream filling, but that's satisfying. It wasn't a snap per se.
I don't know what it was.
I don't know what it is either. But they had it down to a science.
It was is it a density? I don't even know.
I can't. I don't think it can be recreated either.
It can't be.
It's not anywhere in nature that you can find.
No, zebra cakes are the opposite of snowflakes. They're all exactly the same.
But
no one else can replicate it.
No, and I think that's what's not talked about when zebra cakes are brought up. Is
cosmic brownies. I think most people would say is the best.
Really,
cosmic brownies.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is? It's like my parents and like if you would bake something, nobody's baking anything like a zebra cake. You know what I mean? Cookies and brownies are kind of like everybody's first toe in the water to baking, and a homemade brownie is better than a cosmic brownie. So it's like if you're putting it in the level of little snacks and everything, it's not bad. But it has the name brownie in it, so I can't help but just compare it to a regular brownie.
Okay.
Right. After a while, you're just like, this is extremely artificial.
It's very artificial. It's very dark.
It's so dark.
I thought it absorbed light when I first got it.
Yeah, it's dark. It's very thick.
Which I didn't mind.
Yeah.
The thickness.
Yeah, I mean it's not. Yeah, I'm trying to pack a lot into my lunchbox. It's
right.
cool,
It really gave you a bang for your buck. The cosmic brownie.
It did. The crunchies were a nice touch. I'll take it.
Crunchies were a great touch. Yeah, I'd rather a crumb cake, but I like
a caramel top. You were fat.
Oh, yeah, I could go into the real details of a little Deb. But the oatmeal cream pie I never had.
Never were big on the oatmeal cream pie?
It was just never offered. Never around. It was just never around. I would have liked to get into it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's like I feel like the oatmeal cream pie is kind of in its own category a little bit.
Yeah, I don't really know what it is. Is it a sandwich? Is it a dessert?
It's basically, they're not 2 oatmeal cookies. It's somehow like it's a sugary oatmeal like a sheet almost. I don't know what you would call in if you know what I'm trying to.
Call us in. The numbers.
You know what I mean? And then just a thick layer of cream, not whipped. It was.
And if anyone knows whipped cream, it's Tayler for the past week and a half.
Yeah. So it was some sort of thick cream, and I don't know. It's just satisfying. Oatmeal just needs sugar, and it had plenty of it.
It needs sugar to be edible,
Yeah.
unless you're a horse.
Yeah. I made some this morning, in fact, and I was like, what am I missing? And I was like, oh, yeah, I usually put a quart of honey in this.
Yeah. Instant? You an instant oatmeal guy?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do instant, or I'll just get like the giant jug of what the fuck ever. And,
Quaker Oats.
yeah. I've been preparing for this. I sign up for these fucking races every once in a while, like once a year. I do these like Spartan races, and that's like a quick energy thing beforehand that I'll use.
I noticed you went on a run this morning.
I did go on a run.
Is that what it's for?
Yeah. I'm preparing for at the end of April. I'm doing a Spartan race. It's like an obstacle course.
I've done them.
You have? Yeah, they're a lot of fun, and they're extremely challenging if you're going for like a time. I mean, there's some people that go out there in like a fucking Spider-Man outfit, and it takes them 9 hours to do it. That's one.
That's also fun.
That's one adventure,
right?
You get a bunch of friends, but I don't know. I'm like I have a switch where I have a competitive edge, but it was never like a team sport type of thing. So I like shit like that.
Okay.
So that's what I've been trying to fucking gear up for. You got to prepare. Also, in case Russia attacks us, I want to be able to run away.
Well, you kind of touched on what my concern was, because you got to realize when you look like you wearing all black, and then you caption it with 28 degrees, I was like, oh boy, Taylor stormed Ukraine.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm in there. Fucking everyone's giving shit or is talking up this. What's the guy from Ukraine? I want to say his name's Zelensky, the president, but that's the guy from Tommy Boy who sells cars. So I don't think it's Zelensky.
No, it's Zabinski.
Zabinski?
I think it's Zabinski.
All right, so it's
God,
close.
we are really.
Yeah. You know who I'm talking about.
We provide no sources.
No. And I don't know. I mean, I was like, I don't have like a conspiratorial mindset where I'm like, I think that something would happen on our soil. But, I have all my buddies back home in Maryland. They're preparing for something. I mean, I'm getting Snapchats of like arsenals in people's basements of like, fuck, they want to come over here. Fucking, I'm ready. And I'm like,
because that's where Russia's going to attack fucking Bel Air.
Yeah, Bel Air,
that's where
Maryland.
they're coming to take down your fucking gazebos.
Yeah. I mean, but, listen, if you have an arsenal of stuff, eventually you want to justify it and put it to use. So I understand that. I don't have jack shit, so my thing is I will run. I will run very fast.
Oh, that's what you're training for.
Yeah. And, I don't know. I mean, who knows how long this fucking Ukraine thing is going to I think people are being a little bit too optimistic. Can I say that? I think that people are being...
Who do you know that's being optimistic?
Well, because of the president, you show one picture of him wearing like a bulletproof vest, and he's out there fighting, and people, there's like a weird fascination, almost like a rooting thing. We like to have an image of a hero, I think, and he's taken that role.
Yep.
And in a way, this is going to sound bad. I don't know if anyone said this before. This war, it's not the Winter Olympics we wanted, but it's the Winter Olympics we deserve. And I think that people are watching what's happening, and they're seeing like the big force. I mean, this is Rocky IV. Russia comes storming in, right? And then you have this underdog of a nation in Ukraine, and you have the face of it, this fucking guy who's kind of a nobody, but he's stepping up. Fuck you, Putin. I'm staying. It's a come from behind. It's an underdog story. We love it. We love an underdog story.
Yeah, let me tell you how I know you were a theater major and not a poli-sci major. Because you gave the Ukrainian war a storyline.
But that's what the fuck it is. I mean, we can't talk about anything in this country without a fucking storyline. Like, people want to get behind the underdog, and I think that he's the face of all the hope in Ukraine. I mean, he's fucking Jeremy Lin on the Knicks for Ukraine right now. This is the Linsanity.
That's true.
This is the Linsanity of Ukraine.
Slightly higher stakes, but wow. What a comparison.
There's higher stakes. I mean, and I think we're getting too ahead of ourselves because Russia came into Kiev or wherever, and they blocked him at the gates, and people were like, we thought they were going to blow through and come. And this is just like when Jeremy Lin scored 38 points on Kobe, and people were like, what the fuck is happening? But this is the first quarter of the war. It's the first quarter. That's what you got to remind. You know what I mean? You got to remember that. It's the first quarter. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's still Russia. It's still Putin. And they're putting up a hell of a fight. I don't want to take anything away from the Ukrainian people.
They're doing a good job.
They're doing a great job. However, I think that, I don't know. I think there's dark days ahead.
I now have a whole envision of you sitting in your apartment watching the news and like, there are darker days ahead. And you're like, there are darker days.
Oh, yeah. I have a whole, there should be a musical about
Ukraine.
this. Oh, my God. I think Tom Cruise is just waiting for this thing to be over so they can make a movie and he'll play the fucking Ukrainian president.
Well, fucking Sean Penn's over there doing a documentary.
See, there you go.
Do you know how boring your life must be and how much money you need to have to be like, I'll fly there.
Yeah, I'll go.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go in.
Who else is doing it?
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, a documentary about.
I think people know.
Yeah,
I think
folks are gonna follow it. You know,
imagine Sean Penn's never heard of TikTok. He's just like, wait, people are sharing the footage?
Yeah, the idea that he's gonna get better footage than the people we're getting we're getting like body cam footage of real shit. You know, but again, it's all a storyline. Like there's like a couple things that like circulate. Like this, did you see the meme, or not a meme, but the story about like the couple that just got engaged and now they're like, right after they got married, they like suited up and they're out going, like that's their honeymoon, is going fighting in the war.
Yeah, but that was probably going to be their honeymoon anyway. They're Ukrainian.
Yeah,
it's just what they do.
Yeah, they were like, wow, well, this worked out fantastic.
Yeah. But what I have seen is a lot of these stories that are supposed to be like heartwarming, fake.
Really?
Woman that puts the sunflower seeds in the Russian soldier's pocket. Did you see that?
Yes.
Fake.
Where she was like, your fucking body will grow flowers or whatever?
Fake.
Like it was staged, you're saying?
Yeah.
But
as like, it used to be you just told tales of warriors and people are like, oh, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Now we got TikTok. So you gotta they need theater actors.
Yeah.
Theater majors to go to Kiev and stage heartwarming stories.
So you think that all those people, they're all Ukrainians and they're just posing as like a soldier, and then see, that's the other interesting thing about this war is it's not really the Ukrainians are not a race, right? Before I continue, it's all the same.
It's an ethnicity.
You know what I'm saying?
A nationality.
Like, it's not like we're going into Afghanistan and you're like, who's who? You know what I mean? They're similar.
Oh, dude, if you dropped me into Ukraine now, I'd point at myself. Yeah. I'd be like, who am I with?
Ukrainians, right? I mean, listen, if I grow a beard, I'm probably Ukrainian. I think I'm.
I mean, you look this morning in that photo, you look like a KGB member. I thought you were storming.
I have a Adidas track jacket that I wear sometimes, and I look
I've seen you wear it.
Yeah, I look like a hitman from like Bosnia or somewhere every time I wear it. So. Yeah, I've got some sort of Eastern European thing going on.
Oh no, you 1,000,000% do. That's not. That's not an argument. That's no, you do.
So my heart is really in this war. That's what I'm getting at.
Is it crazy that and it's 100% a racist thought that I think the nation is having, where we're all watching this and I'm like, God, this hits home. Where we've been doing the same thing in a bunch of different nations for
we're
decades.
we're very invested in this, and I think that we're also the fact that we're not really involved yet, I think it's kind of exciting for people, because we get to be outraged about somebody else for a change. We have an enemy where we can hate on them, and it's got nothing to do with race. Nobody can bring up a race card right now. It's kind of like it's refreshing.
I saw people bring up race cards. I've seen people say that Putin has white privilege, and that's why he's able to do what he wants.
Wow.
And I was like,
well, Whoopi Goldberg did say this has nothing to do with Ukraine. She did say that.
Whoopi Goldberg did come out and say that this has nothing to do with Ukraine.
It's got nothing to do with it.
She said, let those whites do whatever they want. That's what she said.
Wow. Oh, so he's got white privilege, so therefore he can...
That's why he feels like he could go and take over Ukraine.
Unbelievable.
Which... I mean, that's a stance to have.
Yeah. Okay, let's unpack that for a second. He's got white privilege. I don't
think the person that wrote it realizes how many white people are in Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I think it just comes with the job. It's not like, if Joe Biden invades somewhere, he's got white privilege, and then it's like, well, what was Obama drone striking people? Was that like
That was his white half.
that was his,
Yeah.
that was the White House.
A lot of people don't bring this up. When he drone strike Yemen, his mom actually called it, which is, they don't bring that up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't know that.
But his dad taught him his wet jump shot.
There you go.
And that's what people know him for.
It is mean. He put the basketball court in the White House.
A lot of people don't talk about that.
No, and that's, one of his best contributions, if you ask me. I mean,
Right. And also salads in schools was cool.
yeah, that was nice as well. He had some good things, that guy.
Bombed Yemen, but kids are eating tomatoes
What
now.
are you going to do?
You know?
You got to take the good. You got to take the good with the bad.
Ghost of Ukraine. Ghost of Kiev. Fake.
The what? The
Ghost of Kiev.
I didn't hear that one.
The story was there was a fighter pilot that took down a bunch of Russian planes.
Yes.
Fake.
Fake.
Not even a video for that one.
You know what? This is the most boring war. I take it back. Everything I thought was cool about it, it's all fake.
You ready for this one? You see the video of the tank that ran over the car?
Yeah.
Fake. Well, not fake. Kind of like false advertising. So it was a Ukrainian tank that ran over the car. And they thought it was because the person driving it was a Russian soldier.
What?
Yeah.
What about Steven Seagal? What was that one?
What's he up to? He's been oddly quiet
Is
during
he
all
fighting
this.
over there? Because I saw one picture, and I want to believe that. Did you see that picture?
No, I didn't see the picture.
I think Rogan posted it like somebody put a picture up there and was like, Steven Seagal has been spotted in Ukraine alongside like Russian forces, and he posted it thinking it was true because this is actually true. Steven Seagal's banned from the Ukraine.
Wait,
he's banned.
why?
I don't know. For some reason, you're gonna have to look it up. They view him as like a national security threat. So when he saw this picture, he was like, "Holy shit!"
You see those movies?
And he's fucking crazy enough, I feel like, to do something like that. Like, oh yeah, let's start fighting. But it was taken from some movie or whatever. But when I first saw it, I was like, yes. Just that idea of like, that's how kooky things have gotten. Steven Seagal is fighting in a war.
Well, he denounced his citizenship to go to Russia. He's been living in Russia, babe.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Maybe he's right. I've never been to Russia. I'm Russian. I've never been to Russia.
Are you Russian?
Russian Orthodox. I was raised Russian Orthodox.
Okay.
It's the whole thing.
It seems a little bleak over there.
Let me tell you something about the people. Not a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Not a lot of personality.
They're not exporting much. What do they make? They make vodka, obviously.
Oil's
the big one.
That's the big one.
That's kind of the big one. All right. Well, other than that, yeah. What do you got?
Tattoo.
Tattoos?
The girl band. Tattoo.
Never heard of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're good?
their Mad TV appearance when I was 9. Oh, that's how I knew.
Unbelievable. You're like, oh, I identify with
does
this
something.
culture.
I was
I'm
like,
feeling a lot of stuff right now.
I was like, and Mad TV of all places.
Yeah.
You give me a little Will Sasso, a little Russian girl band. God, call that a
Okay.
Saturday morning.
Wow.
But yeah, it's all fake. It's all pipes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know what to believe anymore. You can't trust anything.
I have a few questions for you.
Okay. Shoot.
First, I guess we'll say, because I don't know how valid your information is going to be on this.
All
Are
right.
you still
that's fair.
currently in the high-end restaurant industry?
No. I gave up that life.
You gave it up.
Yeah, no, I left. The last time I worked in the restaurant was the end of 2020. I went back to work in the restaurant thinking it was going to be, a good thing for me to do at the time. I was like, I need to be active. I need to do something, go back to work, contribute. Right. And, and I went back and, I just went back to the same kind of routine of everything. And I was just fucking tired of it. I was going into work every day. This was back when, it was still, outdoor dining was, brand new. We weren't even like
No one ever put a plate outside before.
Yeah, outdoor dining was brand new.
Someone put a
The
chair.
masks were like, like if you walked inside, it was craziness. And I was tasked at managing this outfit, and it was not going great. The restaurant wasn't successful, but I was still supposed to manage. But there was nothing to manage. I came in, there was no service or anything, so I'm going in, and I'm the person in charge. And there's a thing I know about myself where if I don't like something, I will subconsciously start to sabotage it.
I do the same thing.
You know what I mean?
I do the same thing.
I will sabotage it so I'm either forced out or because I'm always like too afraid to leave something or disappoint anybody. So I will sabotage it and then eventually I'll be forced out. That's not a conscious thought at the time, but that's always what happens. So I would go into work. There'd be no business at night. So we have like 3 servers, a full bar, and I would just start drinking. So I'd go up to the bartender.
I was not expecting you to say that.
Yeah. I would go up to the bartender who's like my buddy, and I'm a man. I'm like I was a manager, but not really. I don't
a fun manager.
I don't do the hiring and firing. I'm a babysitter. That's what I was.
You make the schedules. Were you a schedule maker?
I was a schedule alterer. People like the schedule would come out, they'd come and bitch at me, and then I was kind of the middleman being like, hey, Rachel said she can't, she's got a fucking thing on Thursday. Can we switch,
Okay, so what did you do?
I was a babysitter. I didn't do anything.
That's very clear.
Yeah, I didn't do much. I was like, I could kind of do it all. Like, so if we were getting slammed in one area, I could help out. And it's also nice to have somebody who's not taking tables, who can kind of see the whole flow of the restaurant and kind of understand how everything is working.
You pit boss this whole thing.
Yeah, kind of pit boss being like, okay, we're getting slammed over here. Their food needs to come out. So I kind of was the liaison between the kitchen, the waiters, and the bar and everything. But when there's no service, I have nothing to do. So I would make a drink, and there was like a little side closet of this. This is so sad. It's a side closet of this restaurant where I would just go in there, and I had live TV on my phone at the time, and so I would just
What happened to the live TV?
I got it. I got cable on my phone for some reason. Maybe I had like a trial or something. I don't know. But I would just throw on like a basketball game and sit in the closet and have a cocktail. I was getting paid.
That's the definition of alcoholism.
Yeah,
you
no,
defined it.
It was bad. It was bad. Like, I tell this to some people, and they're like, dude, that sounds amazing. It really wasn't.
No, those people, you need to write that. Tell me who those people are because we'll get them help. If they say that sounds amazing, they're definitely comics that said that.
Amazing, yeah. So I would like drink. And every once in a while, I'd poke my head out. Things are going back. And then I would go back in the closet. And it was like a dark closet, little light from the phone, and I'm just sipping a Manhattan. And it got
Manhattan?
A Manhattan.
The strongest of drinks.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was making some cocktails, and it got to a point where I was like, I don't think I'm happy here.
How long did that take?
I mean, it took. I was there a couple months, I think, and it was also a shift in my schedule. Like, stand up wasn't really happening,
right?
So I was working nights, which I had never done before. So I was kind of like thrown for a loop there. Where it's like getting to be, it's like 10:30, and I'm at this fucking job that I don't like, and it was all kind of compounding, and I was just not fucking happy, and I eventually quit, and that's what I told my boss. I was like, if I stay here, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad.
Did no boss or like owner find you drinking Manhattans in the closet?
No. I think some of the servers knew. Because towards the end, I got super lax. I wasn't even going in the closet anymore. I wasn't even.
Wait, you just post up outside the fucking. You sat down with a diner.
I would. This restaurant had like a lot of. It was very like weirdly decorated. It had a lot of like tchotchkes on the shelves and like It
was a Chili's.
Yeah, essentially. And so there's like picture frames and little statues here and there, and I would just tuck the drink behind one of those things, and then be like going in and out of the restaurant, take it out, sip it, put it back,
This is out in the open.
Oh, yeah.
In
Oh,
the
100%.
dining room?
Yeah, well, it's all outdoor dining. So we'd have to go through the restaurant to get more
zero indoor dining.
Zero
occurring.
indoor dining at the time.
I got you.
So everything.
I got you.
all
I got
the
you.
customers and everything were outside. I kept a good face,
Well, you think. From what you remember.
Yeah, so I thought. They were
Not
like,
much.
Who is that guy?
I know I had a problem when I dropped the chicken marsala.
Yeah, and I just didn't care about it. Yeah, so like when I would go back into the restaurant, grab another thing of plates or like run food, I would just fucking tilt one back and then head on out the door. And so eventually that had to stop.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I also started like stealing more. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I self-sabotage.
Who are you?
I've always had kind of an issue with stealing.
What?
Yeah, it's like a rush. I was very good at it too. I say was like I stopped.
You still do it?
Like occasionally, like little things, mainly from places that I think won't feel a hit. Like a CVS, I don't care if I take a fucking Snickers bar or like a bottle of water or something.
Okay.
So I will do that. But like, dude, in college, I mean, yeah, I'll fucking bankrupt you. I mean, I had a stealing problem.
What's the biggest thing you stole?
Biggest thing I stole, I'll tell this story, was a pair of Beats headphones from the Apple Store.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Walk me through that.
Yeah.
Because those are not small. Like
No,
the package is not small.
It was the box.
Yeah.
It was the box. So this was in college. Apple Store was in the mall, and I didn't go in there with the intention of stealing, but especially the Apple Store, like you think it's kind of just, it's untouchable almost.
Yes.
And I'm going to here's a misconception that I think a lot of people think about stealing.
Write this down, kids.
If there's a lot of people in the store, they think like, oh my God, there's so many people in here, you can't steal. Like, it'd be better if there's nobody in the store. But if there's nobody in the store, you're the only one in the store, so all eyes are on you. So if the store is packed, which the Apple Store always is, you blend in. Nobody's just looking at you.
All right.
And stealing, all it really is, folks, is a level of confidence, is looking like you're not stealing.
Like how you walked into this building.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I just walked in. Hey, I'm going to this apartment. They're like, yeah, go on upstairs. Yeah. So I walked into the Apple Store, and then, so the Genius bar is usually in the back of the store. And so I walked towards the back of the store, and that's where they had a lot of the most expensive stuff. And the Beats headphones at the time, I don't know if they still do, they come in this big box, and it was kind of too big to wrap those like spider secure. I don't even know the brand. The spider security wire things around it. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't know the brand name.
Yeah. I think it has a spider on the.
You know if it has a spider on it.
Yeah, it has a spider on it. I don't know if that's the name of it, but that's what we in the stealing scene.
in the service manager drinking on the job industry. That's what we call it.
So I took this box and I took it off the little thing, and there wasn't any security thing on it. So it had a handle too. That's how big this thing was. The top of it had a handle. So I'm holding it, and I'm holding it down by my side, and I'm standing at one of the tables with all the, the iWatches or whatever it was, the iPads, and I'm at the furthest table. So if you're looking at me, you can't see that I'm holding this box below the table, because the table comes up to right here.
Okay.
So I'm holding it, and I'm just like looking at the iPads and everything, just checking it out. And then eventually I would just like move to the next table, getting closer to the door. And I looked at the iPhones for a while. Oh, yeah, look at the iPhone, just checking it out, not looking around, you looking suspicious. And then I just walked to the last table. And the store is set up so that there's 3 tables going up the store, and they're mirrored on each side. So on the left side, there's 3 tables, and on the right side, there's 3 tables. And then at the front, you always got the 2 greeters.
Yes.
The greeters are there, which are also kind of the last line of defense, And I didn't have a plan going in for those folks. So I'm standing at that last table for a while, and also I think there was no security guy this day.
Sometimes, but only some stores have a security guy.
Yeah, only some stores. This one did not. So I really just have the greeters. And so there's standing there, and then somebody at the table across from me asked them a question. They were like, hey, blah, 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 and took their attention away, and they walked over there. And I'm saying, as soon as they turned their shoulder and started walking, I just beeline walked out of the store. And then I walked out, nothing happened. I just kept walking. Didn't want to start running, but this isn't like a thing you can play off where it's like, oh, I forgot I had this on. I walked out with it. So I'm
with a big box.
With a big old box. So I am walking pretty quick. As soon as I make it outside of the mall, I went out an exit that it's not where my car was. So I had to run around the mall. And I went out the first exit, and I'm going to tell you why. I went out the first exit because
you're a criminal.
Well, yeah, because I'm a criminal, but also if you're no longer on the mall property, the mall security cannot do anything.
Okay. When did you study mall law?
So my older brother, he worked
the killing machine.
Yeah, he worked loss prevention at Sears. So that's yeah.
So you have an in.
I have an in. I'll tell you another story where they caught me stealing at Kmart and I got away with it.
How old are you? You stole from Kmart.
It was also in college. Yeah, I spent I spent a summer at my uncle's place and there was a Kmart nearby and I would steal from there a lot. But anyway, so I walk out with the beats, ran around the mall, got into my car, and that was my heart was going. And I got away.
Wait, how far outside of the mall do you have to be for them not to take action?
I think just there's a certain distance where they'll try to stay with you so that the cops, when they call the cops, they'll come and get you, but they can't physically
detain you?
Yeah, detain you. They can't physically touch you. The mall security can. So
anywhere in a mall?
In the mall they can.
Oh, okay.
But once you're outside, if you're off my brother used to break that rule when people would steal from Sears. They would leave, and he would still tackle them to the ground.
Your brother he didn't even work at Sears, we found out. He just enjoyed tackling people.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit. But when I stole from Kmart, I knew all the rules about loss prevention, and one of the big ones is if they stop you for stealing, you have to have the merchandise on you. Because if they stop you and you don't have anything on you, I could sue. Because that's a huge, for whatever the thing is, how dare you?
They targeted you for your race.
Exactly. Exactly. So I went into Kmart and I took a video game. This is like a 2-level Kmart. So I'm downstairs level. I took a video game and I took the disc out of the thing.
Yeah.
And I tucked it in my waistband. And I'm going up the escalator, and I get to the top of the escalator, and I look, and I see the exit, and there's a guy just standing at the exit who was not there when I walked in. And it kind of just ticked off something in my head, and I'm like, it doesn't feel good. So I without moving too much, I slipped the disc out of my waistband, and there was a trash can right at the top of the escalator, and I just placed the disc right in the right on top.
What game was it?
It was something fucking stupid. It was like Sonic or something.
This is all for a Sonic game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I walk out. The guy stops me. He's like, you got to come with me. And in my head, I know I don't have the game, so I'm a fucking asshole. I'm like, let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, let's go to your fucking office.
I'm a fucking loss prevention mall expert.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, let's go to your office. And dude, I think it was also a little bit of fear that I got caught that was coming off as this arrogance because I didn't want to show that I was actually afraid. Even though I knew, I'm like, I know that I can't be criminally charged for stealing, but they know I did something wrong.
Right.
They wouldn't have stopped me. So they got me back in the chair. And
is that what they call it?
Yeah, the chair.
In the industry?
And so he's like, we know you stole the game. And I was like, I don't have anything on me.
Is there one light hanging above you? Is he smoking a cigarette as he's doing this?
Listen, well, here's where I got really cocky is back in the office, they have a board, an apprehension board that lists how many. So basically, cops have a quota for
yes.
giving tickets.
Yes.
Similar thing where you have a quota for stopping people.
mall cops have a quota?
Not necessarily. I don't know if it's necessarily mall cops. This was Kmart. Any department store that has a loss prevention, they have
a quota.
I don't know if it's necessarily a quota, but they do keep track of how many people you stop. Because otherwise, you could just sit back there all day, never stop anybody, and they'll be like,
I understand that.
They'll be like, they know people steal, so if you're consistently stopping people, I guess that's how they use you for promotion. I don't know. So
For promotion.
hey, this guy gets a lot of people. He should be running the joint.
Honey, I've been bumped to lieutenant of Kmart of Evansville.
Yeah, exactly. So the guy starts like telling me like, we know you stole the thing, and I'm like, listen, this is what I said to him. I was like, listen, I know you really want to get me for stealing. I know this is your apprehension board, and you're trying to bump your numbers up, but I didn't steal anything. You know you can't do anything, and I know you can't do anything. So how about I just show you where the disc is, and I'll just go home. That's what I said.
You told them
Yeah,
you did take the disc
because I
out.
didn't take the merchandise out of the store, so I did not steal it. And there's no like you can't tell me I attempted to fucking.
Wow.
Well, yeah, there's no law against.
There's no law with attempting to steal?
Listen, I didn't. You ever like pick something up in a store and then you walk around with it for a little bit and you're like, I don't want this. You put it on like a different shelf or whatever.
Now that I've done.
Yeah, of course, we've all done that.
Right, but I've never taken something out of the packaging, slipped it in my waistband, put it on top of the trash, and gone, fucking prove I tried to steal
okay,
it.
well, whatever I don't know what the law would be for that. Like, you're not going to send me to prison for that.
No,
You know what I mean?
no, I don't
And
think
then
you're facing
ultimately
jail
they
time here.
Yeah, they just want the merchandise back anyway. I'm like, I'll show you where the disc is. And they didn't want me to go they were like trying to find it on their own. They couldn't
Well, that's the fun
they
of it,
couldn't
Taylor.
figure out where they couldn't figure out where it was. And I was like, guys, we could end this. We can end this standoff. I'll show you where the disc is.
This is the opposite of Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much effort being put into this.
Oh.
Very minimal stakes.
Oh, yeah. Very minimal stakes. They had every guy like just searching the floor, and I was like, I'll show you where it is. And eventually they did. They were like, all right, show us where the disc is. And so I went to the trash can. I gave him the disc. And then I remember the security guy, he was like, all right, I'm going to walk you out now. And like on the walk out, he was trying to give me like a pep father-son talk. He's like, why are you doing this? You don't need to be, why are you taking stuff? And I was so mad that he was trying to like fuck with me in my morals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was just like, I don't know. I stole it. I tried to one-up him. I was like, it's my younger brother's birthday and we don't have the money to get him anything.
You did the Christmas shoes strategy.
Yeah. I was like, we didn't have the money to get him anything. So I don't know. So it's his favorite game. I thought I would do it. It was a dumb decision, yada, yada. So I'm trying to make him feel bad about my poorness or whatever. I probably had Jordans on at the time or something.
Well, what are you
going to do?
Those are stolen too!
Exactly. So that was the only time I've ever been stopped. I've never been criminally charged for anything, though. That was the one time.
The one time.
Yeah. And, yeah. We took a class trip to London one time. I stole a lot in London.
A class trip to London?
It was a theater trip in
oh,
college.
boy. All right. What'd you do? You went to the Globe Theater?
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah. You know it burnt down, and you're like, I know. I'm gay. What are you talking about? Of course I know this.
I know.
It's a requirement.
But that country, dude, I don't know what gave me what cut the ribbon that allowed me to I robbed London like nobody's business. I mean, clothing, backpacks, the airport, forget about it.
You robbed a plane.
Yeah.
I took a plane.
I robbed, yeah. I took the watch off the pilot. I mean, it was bad.
Well, I mean, the whole, no taxation without representation. You're like, remember when you guys did that?
Dude, it was an expensive trip. And I was like, I'm getting my fucking money's worth.
Wait, so how did you bring that all back with you?
Well, it was a lot. I mean, it was nice. I stole a backpack, so I put a lot of it in there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That helps.
If you're gonna, what a lot of robbers don't do is rob something to carry. The stolen merchandise.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I stole the backpack. It was like a rolly backpack too. And
nice.
yeah, it was not
Is
bad.
it luggage or a backpack?
It was one of those that like had the back of it was kind of like stiff, and there was like wheels at the bottom. It had a thing that pulled up. So
Yes.
it was like 2-1 or whatever. But I mean, it was just I stole for the game,
Yeah,
I
just for the love of
it was
it.
for the love of the game, like fingerless gloves. I don't wear those, but
No.
But if I thought I could get away with it, I would do it, dude. Au bon pain, the sandwiches.
They deserve to be stolen.
They deserve to be stolen.
Fuck that place.
I mean, yeah. Fucking this avocado chicken sandwich, like $11.99. You're going?
Not today.
Yeah.
Pocket.
No, yeah.
Now, could you? Because I can understand how you could steal. Now I'm going to get really into au bon pain here.
Okay.
I don't understand how you could steal one of the longer sandwiches.
Yeah.
How would you steal one of the regular sandwiches that were triangles? How can you store that in a jacket?
Here's you don't necessarily need to store. Let's say you're working at Au Bon Pain, right?
Okay.
You're making God knows what
Not
to
much.
work that register. And it's a bit, this is London's pre-COVID. It's we're in the heart of the city. It's busy in there. Even if you saw me go up and take that and walk out, it's all about, you ever seen Point Break?
Yes.
In and out in 60 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had a Point Break mentality with stealing from Au Bon Pain or you name it. You get in, you get out. It happens so quick. Even if you saw me do it, you're like, does he work? Is somebody say he could do that? You're gone. I'm gone.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's the people who linger around and are looking up, trying to find the cameras. They get the attention, and then they get followed around, especially in a department store. The whole job is profiling. The whole job is.
Okay.
If you walk into Sears, the first thing, it's like, yeah, if you're a young black teen, you're getting looked at. And then if you're it's just a younger person in general, you're more likely to steal. So they're going to follow you as opposed to the old lady. It's like, it's all profiling. But if you get in and out before they even know you're there, you're good.
Okay.
You don't necessarily need to conceal it. In fact, it's almost better sometimes with certain things if you are just so obvious about it, because then it's easier to play off. Like, why would I if I was trying to steal this, why would I just walk out with it in my hand?
Right.
So you always got to play, you have to have the character ready if you do get caught. What? You have to be prepared to pay for it as well. You know what I mean?
If you get caught, you need the money.
Because it's like,
That's a true sportsmanship part of the
fair game
of thievery.
If you get me, you get me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll take my L's where I take them.
How much do you think you've stolen in your lifetime? If you were to quantify it, give me a 5. I'm not even gonna say. Give me a range.
It's in the thousands.
It's in the thousands.
I think it's in the thousands.
The Beats set you back 300.
Yeah, that's 300 alone. I would say in my lifetime, I don't know if I'm forgetting any major purchases. Sometimes the small stuff can be the most expensive stuff.
It was a Volkswagen.
Yeah. There's been times that in a Marshalls or whatever, you walk in there with dirty old shoes, you slip them out in the box, you walk out with the new ones. I've done that a few times.
You've done that?
Yeah, I've done that.
You've done every type of thievery.
Listen, I'm a jack of all. Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
I'm scared, but I'm impressed.
Yeah, and I did that when I was younger. Now, even the people who don't steal know that trick. So the game has to evolve.
Wait, or else it's no fun.
You have to evolve with the times.
Right.
Otherwise, that's how you get caught. Because now everybody knows the shoe trick. I'm probably sure that's where the cameras are pointing at all the time.
The shoes.
Is the shoes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're expecting you to... Yeah, like if I go into a Sears or wherever you sell shoes, if I try them on and start walking around, they're absolutely looking at me.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I don't know. In a couple thousand at least, I would say.
That's insane. Well, let me ask you if you've done this. I think the answer is yes. Have you gone into a dressing room with clothes, put the clothes on, put the clothes you originally wore into the stores over those clothes, walk out?
Yes, probably. But see, that always struck me as like the novice way to go about it, is to use the dressing room. Because I think that's what they would expect you to do.
But there's no cameras in the dressing room, are there?
There's no cameras in the dressing room. They see you walk in. Now they give you the number. They know what you're walking in there with.
Right.
But the idea of I'm going to conceal it. I was never about the whole I'm going to make this look like I'm trying to hide it. Because then that's harder to play off if they do catch you. Would you
You're
be like,
right.
Oh, I accidentally put this on 3 layers underneath my jacket. It's like
You're more keep it on the
yeah. Or you sometimes
hanger.
you do a sacrificial buy where you do buy something. So they see you're going in the line. So you're purchasing this thing, but you're also stealing this other thing.
Okay.
You know? So it's like then it's I forgot to include this one. Clearly I'm about purchasing items from your store. I'm a genuine guy.
Not an animal.
Yeah. I'm not animal. I mean, I'll buy something.
Okay.
Yeah. So I try to not do it as much, but
All right.
it's hard.
So you don't work in the high-end dining.
No. So I
Dining
left
space
that,
now.
and then I went back to work in like May of the last year, and I was working. The restaurant was a part of a hotel chain, the Ace Hotel, and they just built a brand new location in Brooklyn, and I went to work for them, but for the hotel side. I worked like front desk type stuff, and
Okay.
that was just that was a drag. And it was a similar thing where I got to a point where every second I was there, I'm like, I should drink. Yeah, I should drink. Well, that's the difference between that and a restaurant, which I didn't like, is that a restaurant, we're all dealing with shitty people and customer service, but I go up to you, I have the interaction, good or bad, and then I walk away. You're at the table. At the front desk, I'm at the desk, you come to me, and I can't make you leave. I can't go anywhere.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's an anxiety when people are coming up to me because it's like, I don't know how long this is going to be.
It could be a whole
I have no
thing.
control.
Yeah.
I have no control over
powerless.
this. Exactly. I don't know this woman. Oh, your AC unit didn't work. There's empty
Son's
snacks.
gay.
Your son's gay. Whatever it is you're coming to complain about, I can't control how long you're going to be in front of me, and I can't be rude. It was
Yeah, well, yeah, ma'am, it's not a choice. You're born like that.
Yeah, and it was, and that company especially, it's so fucking just woke. We don't want to offend anybody. Whatever the highest, strictest COVID thing is, we're doing double that. I mean, they're probably right now they're still using masks and guards and fucking face shields if they could make people. I mean, and I was like, this is fucking bullshit. I don't want to be here. And yeah, I was in a position where I could take some time off and not do that. So that's what I did. I quit.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want a fun? I have a fun story about a front desk worker.
Yeah.
That happened to me this past weekend. I went to Jiminy Peak in the Berkshires.
Mm-hmm.
So we walk into the hotel, and we got there late. It's like 11:30 midnight.
Yeah.
And the guy working the front desk, he's like, "Oh, you're from New York? I'm from New York. Where are you from?" We're talking. And first of all, big white guy, part-time cop up there.
Okay.
Said he was from Bed-Stuy. And I was like, I don't think that's true, but I will let you tell that to people. That's fine. So he goes, "Oh, you're from the city? Well, listen to this. This is a fun story." So this guy comes in, and first let me tell you, the guy was Asian. So it's going to, it makes the story funnier. That's what he says. He's like, it makes the story funnier. So I was like, "Oh, how was the trip up?" He's like, "Oh, I don't really like to drive. I get nervous. I'm not a good driver."
Good.
And I was like, okay. And then there's a guy standing in the back of me that's like,
Good.
okay. He's like, "So, you know why it was funny?" And I was like, "Yeah, what room are we?"
Yeah.
Before we just start doing racial stories.
Can I get my key card, please?
And we got back to the room, and my girlfriend's like, "Yeah, so it was because he was Asian."
Yeah.
Was why it was funny, right? I was like, "That's the exact
That
reason."
was it. Yeah. And it was better that he explained it, too.
Yeah. Thank God he brought that up.
You get why it's funny, right?
And then we saw that guy several times. And I was like, you tell that story to a lot of people, huh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, I was never that... Like, I'm good at customer service, but I don't like the customer engagement. I'm good at problem solving and getting whatever it is that you want to you, but I don't want to sit there and talk to you about Asians and your gay son. I don't want to do that. I want to be...
If you have a gay Asian son,
gay
forget
Asian
about
son.
it. Definitely don't want to talk about
God
that.
bless. I'll talk to you then. But I was never... Like, when wedding parties would come in and people want to be like, "Congratulations." I'm like, why do you care? Why do you care about these people?
Right.
I can't bring myself in the slightest to give a shit about these people that are going to be gone in 2 days. But
Right.
there's people that would just build these bonds with the customers, and then they'd come down for breakfast and they'd say hi to my coworkers, and I never formed any type of relationship with anybody.
No, because you're a human being.
Yeah.
Because you're a reasonable person. Yes, you've stolen $5,000 worth of Snickers.
Listen,
But I don't want to talk to you.
I don't want to talk to you. That was another bad part about the job, is there wasn't really a lot to steal.
Oh, that when it comes to a job like that, you need to steal things.
Yeah.
Towels.
I needed to.
Paper cups.
Actually, hold on. Let me think. I didn't steal anything that that they would consider stealing. Like, there's a giant, trash can filled with like the toothbrushes that they put in the rooms or whatever. They like stocked stuff of toilet paper and anything that would go in a hotel room. I took that kind of stuff, but I don't even consider that stealing.
No, it's too.
You know what I mean?
It's too low stakes.
It's too open. I mean, it's right there. What I did take a lot of, you mentioned Snicker bars, is the mini fridge. So they had an issue.
God, you're an alcoholic.
So they had an issue at the hotel because the minibar team was not they couldn't keep people on the job. Like I guess it was just a hard job. I don't know what it is. People were always quitting. So the minibar team is responsible for tracking what people would buy, charging it to their room, and then also restocking.
But I thought that's all weight based.
No, some hotels do that.
Not
Some
the
do,
Ace.
Yeah. Some
Okay.
do, like, if the moment you crack it open, it's all that. That's how it worked, but they just were
COVID.
like, if it's gone, then you used it. If the Snicker bar was gone, then we're going to charge you for it. So there became an issue where the minibar team was so inconsistent that they would miss rooms after guests would check out, and then a new guest would check in, and they'd be like, "There's things listed on the minibar list that they're not in my room," and so people were getting charged wrongly because they, and so eventually we didn't tell guests this, but we're like, we're not going to charge minibar stuff right now until we get the team sorted out. So I hear that, and I'm like, okay.
And you're key carding in?
So I would sometimes, like on my break, I would take my card.
Oh, boy.
I would take my card. I'd go into a room, and there were couches in all the rooms. I'd go into a random room. I'd take a nap in the room, and then on the way back and the way out, oh, here's a protein bar, granola bar. I would just slip the granola bar. And I know that if somebody checked in and they're like, I didn't have a granola bar in my room, they'll be like, oh, they didn't fucking charge it from the last guest. Don't worry about it. We won't charge you. Then it got even worse.
It got worse?
It got worse.
Taylor, were these at least rooms that you knew people weren't staying in?
Yeah. They were in vacant rooms.
Okay.
I didn't go into people's like rooms they were checked into.
No, yeah, you're reasonable.
God forbid. Yeah. Well, because I don't know if they're in there. So towards the end of the job, it got really bad because the minibar team was so inconsistent and they just couldn't keep up with minibar charges. They're just losing money.
Yeah.
So they made the decision to just empty all the minibars. So there's no minibar right now, but they have all that product. So they put 2 rooms like out of service and put all the minibar items for the entire hotel in these 2 rooms.
Oh, that's
so you
stupid.
So you walk in and it's just boxes and it's not organized. They're just throwing, like, the minibar would come in like a tray and it was set up. Everything was, so they just taken trays out of the rooms and just throwing them in there. There's just stacks of trays on the bed. And we're talking about, like hipstery Brooklyn snacks, all the way up to bottles of bourbon, vodka, tequila,
Jeebus.
all this stuff. So I hit the food more because
The bottles cling. They cling clang.
they cling clang, and also I'm like, if they're counting anything in this room, they're counting the liquor.
Yeah.
They're not counting the bags of potato chips.
Probably not.
Because it costs nothing to them. But the liquor they could lose money on it. So I didn't take the liquor.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. If you're listening, Ace, you're welcome. I only took the bags of potato chips and a lot of gum. Oh, I took
all the gum.
I took a lot of gum. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the stealing thing is. I think it's like a rush thing. It's an adrenaline thing.
Okay.
You know, some people, whatever, they jump out of planes. I steal.
Yeah. So you don't work in the high end
I don't think
dining space anymore.
No, I don't think it's good for me.
Wait, what are you doing now?
I'm not doing anything. I'm just,
Nice.
I'm chilling for right now. I obviously can't do this forever, but I'm burning through my inheritance. That's what I'm doing.
No, well, but that's what you do with inheritance.
Listen, we're on the brink of World War III. What do you want from me? It's like every day I'm like, we might not be here in 2 years, and I don't want to be fucking, stuck behind a desk where I'm fucking just, miserable.
Right.
So why not throw...
And cash is losing its value more and more every day.
Yeah.
So why hold on to it when you should spend it?
Yeah.
And it's worth something.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not living the way that I was when I had a job, obviously. I'm skating by, but not working has been pretty nice.
Okay.
I'll say. For just mentally and yeah, I was tired a lot. I was tired a lot.
That's most people.
Yeah. And listen, but also most people, like, I had an early morning job, so trying to do comedy after that, you think like, oh, this is the thing that's actually bringing in money. So I'm a very punctual, like, if I sign up for something, I was never a person who slacked at my day job.
You give it 100%.
I just can't, yeah.
You'll steal, but you give it 100%.
Exactly. But it's like, if I make a commitment to something and I tell you I'm going to be there tomorrow, if I'm on the schedule, if I tell you I'm going to be there, I'm going to fucking be there. So if I'm not, then I'll quit. I'll steal in between, but I will quit if I don't think I can fulfill my obligations.
You'll take a nap on a couch.
Yeah.
But you are on your break.
Yes, exactly. So, those were the little things where I'm like, oh, it's happening. The sabotage, it's happening again. Where I'm going into work, and now I'm like, if I found myself in the office alone, I would be like, what can I take? And, I'm like trying to figure out what can I stuff in my bag. I mean, there were like candles from Le Labo. I think that's what you call it.
Sounds good.
It's like a high-end candle. Like, I felt the urge to be like, I'm going to take one of those.
See, I think this is so interesting because, like, now I work for like a legitimate company, like a tech company, and they will pay you to take their stuff. I went to the office for the first time yesterday. They're like, take a blanket. I was like, I don't want one. They're like,
I don't want
take the blanket. I was like, please don't push the blanket on me. They're like, we bought 29 million blankets. Take 14. I was like, no.
Wow.
And they just have snacks. They have infinity snacks. And they're like, take all the snacks. I was like, I don't want any of them. They're like, take the snacks.
Wow, yeah.
They catered breakfast. I was like, I'm not that hungry.
I'm probably the same way, whereas, like, I probably wouldn't have taken the snacks, but if they were like, hey, these aren't for you,
then you
bet your ass I'm taking
having
those snacks.
access.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in the access.
Yeah. That's not the game. I'm in it for the game.
Right, you're in it for the love.
Yeah, I'm in it for the rush of, holy shit, there's a chance I might get caught. If you're giving it to me, it's like, it's not fun to be like, to get outside the walls of the establishment and be like, by the way, look what I got.
Oh, yeah, they gave it to everyone. You're like, all right.
Oh yeah. I mean, by the end of when I was working at the Breslin, by the end I was taking furniture. I was out of that place.
That was the hotel?
Yeah. Well, the Breslin was the restaurant in the Ace Hotel.
Oh.
And Ace, because it was attached to Ace New York, so like there's so many back little alleys and hallways
pipes.
and stuff. Yeah, it's all pipes. So I'm finding myself into the event space, and I'm like, this is a nice table. You
took a table?
I took a table. It's in my apartment right now.
How did you? I've never understood, like, when you went to a bar and someone stole the fucking Bud Light sign.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Again, it's like, I worked there for a couple years too, so I knew the security team was shoddy at best. So I took the table, and also I was a manager. So like, if you saw me doing something, you probably assumed I was doing it for a good reason. was probably moving it from this place to this place to for
Oh,
like
that's
an event,
true. That's true. That's
for
true.
an event or something. And
Square table, circle table.
it was like it's like a solid kind of like metal, like it came up like this, and then it was a round table. It'd be
It's like a cocktail?
Exactly.
Okay.
There was a bunch of them in like this event space that they would have, and yeah. So I took the cock table. It was like a heavy fucking thing too,
Yeah.
dense, and I just took it like up the freight elevator, which led to the outside, and then I left with it. Again, you just gotta act like you're supposed to be doing it.
Yeah.
and 9 times out of 10, even more than that, you're gonna get away with it. Because even if somebody sees you, if it's not their job to stop you, who's got the balls, and who cares enough?
That's the bigger part.
Yeah,
Who cares?
Who cares enough to do anything about it?
Your mindset.
Nobody.
Usually, people are stealing because they don't work, and they're like, "I'll steal for my means." You only steal when you work.
Yeah, which is why I shouldn't. It's a good thing I don't have a job right now.
Thank God.
Yeah.
The economy will recover.
Yeah, I mean I'm trying to give back, folks.
All right. That's it. Tayler Yarish. Tayler Yarish Show.
Thank you. Yeah, Tayler Yarish Show. It's this podcast minus for Chapel, and that's all it is.
All right. Goodbye.
Thanks, folks.